All right. What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Good? Awesome. Nice to see all of you again. Nice to see some familiar faces. Nice to see some new faces as well. Some of you know me. For those who don't, my name is Justin. You may have seen me before at some of the Flutter events. I try to come whenever possible. I can't make it to all of them, but whenever I can, I like to come. And I really enjoyed the Flutter beer that we did recently. I think maybe we're due for another one. What do you guys think? Fall Flutter beer, I think that could be a vibe. But yeah, I think it's really great to have a community like this for Flutter in Montreal. I think it's something that could potentially help us all become much better developers and grow and stuff like that. And I know we're always in need of speakers and stuff like that, so I just decided to sign up and give a simple talk today just to kind of contribute a little bit and introduce myself, and maybe we can all get to know each other a little better. So yeah, it's going to be a very simple talk, very beginner friendly, not technical at all. It's going to be more personal and more for the purpose of just building community and stuff like that. And I just want to ask before we start, I know we ask this question sometimes, who here, just by show of hands, raise your hand if you're a Flutter expert. Wow, okay. And who here is say a beginner or knows nothing at all about Flutter? Raise your hands. Okay, a few people. Okay, that's great, perfect. So my talk is more suited for you guys, so that's actually perfect. And what about the rest of you? You're all in the middle? What's going on? Intermediate? Cool. Perfect. That's where I am too. I'm also a kind of an intermediate. If you see me looking at my phone down here, forgive me, I'm just looking at my notes kind of here. So I'm going to structure my talk like this. I'm going to just start by telling you a little bit of a story about myself, my journey in Flutter development, how I came to be here, how I came to be standing in front of you presenting. And then I will show off just a little app that I made, really a simple app, nothing special. It's kind of silly, really. And then I'll just have a little open discussion, maybe some Q&A, and that's it. Nothing too crazy. So a bit about myself. I've been employed as a full-time Flutter developer for almost going on 4 years now. And something interesting about me is that's pretty much the entirety of my career. I actually started with Flutter really early on. I don't know if anybody else is like that. Is there anybody here who's kind of a straight up, just pure Flutter developer? Not really, eh? Yeah, you? What was it like for you guys? When did you, pretty quickly, you just started with Flutter and you just...
I started Flutter Beta.
You started with Flutter Beta.
Yeah, it was very, uncommon things to switch to Flutter, but between React Native, everyone was choosing React Native, but we eventually decided to go with Flutter. The performance was very good and it was convincing the US servers. And then the most difficult challenge for us was the packages. There was no package at all at that time, and we had to overcome all of the migration from Android to Flutter. It was the challenging part was the adoption to the Android platform or iOS.
Yeah. It's a lot better now, eh?
Yeah. It's a lot
ecosystem and stuff like that. I think you too, Lenz. Didn't you start pretty early with Flutter?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess I started 5 years ago, but I wasn't strictly doing Flutter. I was doing a little bit of everything. I
doing
was
a bit of everything.
Fresh out of school. I was working first in C++ and just some networking stuff, and then I was kind of playing around with Flutter at the time, and then just one thing led to another, a few contracts, just for fun, and then ended up here. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. For me, it was basically fresh out of a boot camp that I did during the pandemic. Basically, I did I think one internship where I was doing TypeScript, React, web dev, and they had a Firebase backend that I did some minor work on as well while I was there, and so I just put that on my resume. I put it on my CV, and this guy from a startup shortly after he found me, and I think he was kind of interested in that part that I wrote Firebase there. He thought, oh, you could be a good complement to what I want to do with my Flutter stuff, and you know, as a startup, they don't have a lot of money, so they wanted someone like junior that they could pay, you know, junior wages, and so they kind of hired me for that, and yeah, that was that. I just dove into Flutter right away. I learned it very quickly, and I was thrown onto a project, pretty decent sized project. Right away, we were like 3-4 devs working on a mobile application, and then I worked on that for about a year. After that, I was picked up by an even bigger company working on an even bigger application, and that's what I've been doing for the last like 3 years, just front-end Flutter development, pretty decent-sized code base. Yeah, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I just want to ask you a question. What was the appeal to you? Like you said, you were doing a boot camp, but it wasn't focused on Flutter.
No, it wasn't. It was just the appeal to me. Well, prior to that, I was just kind of, I was a little bit aimless in life before that. I was kind of a musician, and I was doing live sound and audio and stuff like that. So I was doing a lot of like live events, recording different people. I was a sound engineer basically, and so when the pandemic happened, it was all live events just went away. Basically, just like that. So like my entire livelihood was like gone, kind of thing. So I had to figure out something else quick, and I'd always been a bit techie, a bit like dabbling in like programming and stuff. So I decided I would just do a web dev boot camp, whatever. I had lots of friends who were developers as well, and they also kind of like coached me through it as well. And yeah, so that's what I made the switch for.
But
and,
Flutter.
Flutter was just, I had no idea about Flutter at all until I happened to be, well, actually it was Boris. Some of you know Boris. Yeah. He actually hired me for my first ever job, and he made me learn Flutter. He basically like taught it to me in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
nice.
I don't know if you guys knew that, but yeah.
So somebody just picked you up and said, "Hey, we have a Flutter project." And
yeah, they were like, we want to learn Flutter.
Good for you.
He was, yeah. And it was cool. I mean, after that, I kind of just fell in love with the framework in a way, and the workflow and stuff like that. And because of that, I started coming to this event, like the Flutter Montreal event. And you know, that's kind of why I want to like give back and try and attempt to do a little talk. And yeah, it's been a great experience. One more thing I want to mention, this is my first talk ever that I've ever done, so please go easy on me, you guys. I haven't done a presentation like this since I was in high school, which is like, I don't even want to say when that was, so we're just going to move on. But so I'll tell you a little story of how I came to be standing up here in front of you. Basically, I think it was Jin who approached me, I think, at maybe the last event or a few events before that, and he came up to me and said, hey, you want to like you want to do a talk, because we're always looking for speakers, I guess. I think there was supposed to be a second speaker here today normally, but we don't have one. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, he kind of came up to me and he said, hey, would you ever be interested in doing a talk? And I was like, well, yeah, maybe eventually, but right now, no, I don't feel like I have anything to offer, because you know, I'm kind of like a lot of people in this room. I'm sort of in that intermediate phase as a developer. You know, I think beyond a junior, you know, where the entry-level topics bore me a bit, but I'm not quite an expert, where I don't think I could really speak with authority on any of the more esoteric concepts, right? So originally I was like, you know, eventually, maybe, I'm not sure, but like maybe someday. And yeah, I didn't feel like I was ready. In my mind, I was just coming to these events to improve myself, to learn from everybody else around me. I was just meant to be sitting in the audience and getting information from them. But you know, after there was some encouragement, they followed up with me, Lens followed up with me and stuff like that. I was like, you know, you could do something. And I think Jin said to me, really all you have to do is just make a project and talk about it. And that's what he told me. He was like, the easiest way to do it, just make a project, it doesn't even matter what it is, and just go up there and speak about it, about your experience. So I was like, all right. Eventually I decided maybe I'll do that. Just gonna drink some water, sorry. So I said, okay, and I agreed to do it, and yeah. I agreed to do a talk, I signed up, I didn't have anything planned, but I was like, you know what, maybe if I actually do the talk, that could be a way to get what I wanted, which is improving, you know? It's pushing myself out of my comfort zone, forcing me to work on something, and to kind of, you know, approach it in a different way that I've never done before. So I agreed to do the talk, and then I left and went on vacation for like 2 weeks. I went to Europe and I didn't do anything. I didn't work on anything. And then I got back, I decided it's time to work on something for the app. Originally, I was gonna showcase how to put your app on, how to deploy your app to the App Store as like a solo developer through CodeMagic. I don't know if you guys have used it, but it's quite interesting, and I still think that could be an interesting topic that I could do in the future. But I was actually, I felt like I wasn't that inspired when I was working on it, and I wanted to go in a different direction, so apologize to the organizers. They thought I would be giving a different talk. I don't know if anyone showed up for the CodeMagic talk, but I just felt like I was inspired by something else. And what I was inspired by is just the fact that this community that we have, FlutterMTL, the appeal of it, in my opinion, the thing that sets it apart from just another message board or a subreddit or a Discord server or something like that, is the fact that we have real life connections between each other. We have a community and we meet each other in real life and we have bonds with each other. And if we could kind of foster this, the potential for Flutter here in Montreal and the potential for each of us as developers, the sky's the limit. And so I wanted to do a talk that kind of fostered that, you know what I mean? Sort of fostered that little fire within our community. So, the purpose of this talk really, better introduce myself to you guys, told you a bit about my background, push myself out of my comfort zone, showcase the power of Flutter for those who are unfamiliar. So I'll show you the app that I made again. It's very simple, it's nothing crazy, but it is something that I made like in very little time. And any of you could also probably make it in very little time, you know, if you really learned Flutter. If anyone here is, I don't know what you guys' backgrounds are, but if anyone here is sort of entrepreneurial or more of a business person, you could kind of really see how quick it is to prototype an application on Flutter, for example, how quick it is to get an MVP out to the market. And so we just want to do that. And of course, inspire you guys to come up here and speak. Trust me, if I could get up here and give a talk, any of you guys could. You guys have more knowledge than I do, and we would love to hear from you. So please sign up because we always need speakers, right?
Yeah, that's a very good mention, but I'm doing the speaker names or really, we need people to speak and share their idea, it's very amazing to hear from you.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought...
You're pitching for Flutter.
I'm pitching for Flutter, exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. I basically found the thing that I actually did have to offer, which was, yeah, kind of maybe something like that, something where we foster more of a community. I can give a more engaging talk that kind of brings us closer together, and then, you know, maybe we could take this community to new levels. All right, so I made a little app, very simple, to-do list, baby, everyone's favorite original app, but with a little twist. So. When I signed on to do this talk, you know, I have a very active lifestyle, basically, other than working full-time as a developer. I like to do music, I like to do martial arts, I like to see friends, family, I prioritize all that kind of stuff, right? And so I wanted to do something very simple, and I wanted to do something for myself, which was something that I never really got to do in my developer journey. Like I said, I started and very quickly I got dumped into like a big code base. Right? So I never got to experience, I guess, what a lot of developers experience when they first start out. They build a lot of projects, right? You build a lot of small little projects to learn things. You build it for yourself. And so that's what I wanted to do. And I often feel in my life, because I do so many different things, that I'm often overwhelmed, for example, by my to-do list that I make. You know what I mean? I have pages, especially if it's something digital, like this on my phone. You know, and so I wake up every morning with just a long list of different tasks that I have to do, and I can just keep adding to it indefinitely, and it grows faster than I get it done. You know what I mean? And so I found this a bit overwhelming. So I had the idea that I would make an app that's basically a to-do list, basically like a, I call it a priorities list. You make a to-do list, but it only shows you the top 3 or 4 things on your list. So you can keep adding to it, but you won't see it. And so nothing special, really nothing groundbreaking here. And this is the little interface. You know, it's like a cute little thing. I have a few things that I want to do, and you could kind of click things and you can reorder them. That's cute. Not the snappiest interface, but you know, just a little prototype here. And I could add things, you know, I could just a little random example, you know, I could add things, but they don't appear on the list because I wanted something that was very simple, something that was, I find a lot of apps nowadays, they have so many features, they do so many things, they have so many, I don't know, you open your calendar app, you have like a million different things you could do. You can create events, you can create tasks, you can create whatever, this and that. And I don't know, I guess I just wanted a very minimalist application that like doesn't do anything, that just quick and snappy does what I want. Kind of like when I open my calculator, you know what I mean, on my phone. I open it up, boom, type some stuff, okay, good, I close it, something like that. So I wanted to make something simple like that. So this is what I made, you know, and it's just a little to-do list.
Where do they go?
Where do these go?
No, when you add something, where do they go?
Oh, they're in there. You can go to this mode and I can see all of them. And then I can kind of reorder them. Whoops, hold on a minute here. You can kind of reorder them and things happen and stuff like that. I could even, you know, I can click on them. I even put a little like slider in here. It's pretty cute. And you can change the priority of your thing, and you can kind of change the text as well. Something like that. You can delete, you can save. And yeah, it's really nothing special, but you know, I'm a front-end developer, so I really just tried to spend time making it like look aesthetically pleasing, making it feel kind of cool as far as just being able to click and drag and rearrange things super quickly. Everything's like very responsive. I put it in like I started with like a dark mode because that's just what I do. I put everything in dark mode. I don't really like ever use light modes, and so I wanted to use colors like sort of the dark black and orange, very easy on the eyes, something like that. And just something that was like fun and quick to use. Now, I don't know, is this useful for anyone other than me? Probably not, but I don't know. It was just really enjoyable for me to, I guess, make a little project that was kind of personal to me and experience that part of it, because I don't often make applications from scratch. In fact, I almost never do, but I whipped this up very quickly and very easily. And any of you guys can do that too, and it's just a testament to the power of Flutter. So if anyone here is like interested in it, this is just an example of how good it could be. You know, and then one code base, of course, you can have this on iOS and Android very quickly. Yes, sir.
I know some of us were there just never looked at Flutter code. Did you plan at
We could go in the code, yeah, sure.
I don't want to
No, that's perfect.
your presentation.
I didn't plan anything. We could definitely go. I'm making this up on the spot, but we can go and look at the code. It's this is like just a quick prototype. I just made it for the talk, so there's no sort of back end. Nothing is getting saved anywhere. You know, some of the code might be a bit spaghetti-wise, but essentially, all it is, of course.
Refactor.
Sorry?
You didn't refactor.
Not very much. No, I kind of just very little refactoring. I'd always love to do more. But I feel like it's always like that. You could always refactor and clean things up. So we start with the scaffold, of course. Nice little app bar. I just have some. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, let me do that. What's the best way to do that?
Command plus, like
Command.
Whoop. Too big?
Maybe remove the other tab.
Yeah, let's get rid of this. Let's zoom in a bit.
Yep.
Is this better?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. That's good for everyone? Too much? How about this? Oh. So it's really simple.
Are we good?
Oh yeah, we're good. Hey, you could sit closer if you guys want to see it better. Like, I don't know. I think the problem is you're behind a tree. It's not that it's too small. It's like, but so real simple. There's nothing crazy here. I got the text. I made it cute, little stylized with the little parentheses. You know, I thought it was a cool thing. It's like a moon. Like I find I look at these things at night, so I don't know. It's just something I wanted to do, and it's also like a programmer thing, right? The little brackets.
If you have to tell us the most challenging thing you did.
The most what?
Challenging things you
None of this was challenging. The only challenging thing is what the app itself was designed for, which is staying focused on the task. And that's the only thing that's my real challenge for me personally. If I can manage to break things down into small steps and prioritize them correctly, such as they're written here. These are just examples that I wrote down, but ideally they'd be more specific. I feel like I could kind of do anything, and the challenge for me is really the focus part of it, and that's kind of what inspired this app. I wanted to make an app that would help me make itself. I don't know. I thought it was clever.
How did you store the data?
The data is just stored. It's nothing. There's yeah. It's just.
Is it in state or do you have a database?
No, there's no database.
Okay.
There's no database.
It's state. So
But
if
even-
you close the app, you will lose this, right?
Yeah. You close the app, you lose this. There's no. I didn't. I just made something for the.
You really have to be focused.
Just a prototype. I didn't want to.
Like a chat space.
And so yeah, this is very simple. We have a couple buttons. This just changes the mode from either like edit mode or the default mode. That's what I called it. Here I wanted to put a little options. I didn't really put anything here. It's just you could turn off like showing the fourth. I put a little thing. You could have like a little shadow of the fourth. Even more focus. Yeah, if this is like not focused enough, if the shadow of having to call your grandma is lingering over your project and stressing you out.
Mysterious number that you flagged.
What's that?
Mysterious number.
Oh, that's just for me. Yeah.
Only one.
For business or pleasure?
You have to do everything while calling your grandma.
Yeah. We should
So when you click, does it give? Okay.
put this at the top here.
How did you do the? Can you show us the?
Yeah. The scroll view?
Is it draggable?
Yeah. So this is the default view, and it's essentially just a
Draggable list view builder.
exactly. So this is it. This is everything. One of the great things about Flutter is just how the widgets work so well out the box, right? That's like one of the reasons why we love it, right?
Mentioning to someone here, it's just like one of the appeal of Flutter, I think, is that there's so much that is like readily available. You don't have to
Yeah.
write so much. Just that the framework offers like this is pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Reorderable list view just builds a list and you can move it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this is something that I just like iterated. Originally, when I was like just getting my thoughts out, just randomly like coding the app, I just made this like a column, right? That like just, with a list builder that just like built all these things. And then, I was playing around with it. And even my girlfriend, I made her like play with it on her phone. I was like, does this make sense? Is this
That's
cool?
a mysterious number.
There you go. And she was like, yeah, but I wish I was able to like reorder it with like, tapping and pressing, because at the time I hadn't implemented it yet. You had to use this thing, to kind of reorder it. And I was like, So I went in here and I was like, how do I do that? Reorderable list view. And I just plugged it in, replaced the column with it, and it basically just works right out the box, Now the animations are not perfect here as far as the, you can see the gesture detector. I don't know if you guys can see that. You see there's a little splash. If I click on this one, it appears behind the object. So there's little like front end like UI things that aren't perfect, but the functionality was there right out the box. It was pretty cool. So reorderable list view builder, that's what allows you to reorder things.
It's automatically draggable. It's
Yeah. So there's just a parameter within the, it's just automatically draggable. When you have this,
the default. Okay, I understand.
if you have reorderable list view, then it is. If you would want one that's not reorderable, you just have a list view.builder. Yeah, quite simple. Like really nothing special, nothing groundbreaking, and you just iterate over the list. And one of the parameters within the scrollable list view builder is the item builder. And so within the item builder, you can pass the context and an index of your list. And all that I set it to do was just create this. I call it a goal tile. These are the goals, and it's just a custom widget that I made. Just this little sort of button label that says stuff. And I'm just passing the information through to it, and I'm just passing a little callback to the on tap that just brings up this little alert dialog here. Nothing special, really nothing groundbreaking. One thing I really like is this little slider thing. I don't know why, I kind of like it. It's just an interesting little thing. And Yeah, I don't know. What is there anything else you guys want to see specifically in the code, for example?
It shows looking at functionality.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It's functional. That's what's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
So show us is there any additional functionalities you haven't showed?
I mean, there's this pop-up thing on the bottom.
Okay.
So down here, I just have this, at the bottom of the screen, I have this little icon with the plus sign, and if you click on it, we have this asynchronous function to show the modal bottom sheet. And again, I just have a custom widget. Oh, now I have to zoom in again. A little custom widget here, and try to make everything responsive to the size of the device so that it can fit all different devices, whether it's like a iPad. Yeah, Ashley, what's up?
We launched the app for web.
Sorry?
Because the app doesn't have any dependencies, or pretty much no dependencies.
It's got nothing.
We
Yeah.
deploy it for web
Yeah?
just by relaunching the project config and adding a batch HTML, and it should work out of the box.
Maybe
There you go.
do it now.
Do it now?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay.
Just
Putting you on the spot.
Putting me on the spot. Okay, tell me how to do it then. Walk me through it.
just over there on top,
That's what
instead
he's
of
here for.
iPhone.
Boom, down here, we're gonna go Chrome Web. Do I have to change the configuration? No, that's fine.
Just run the application.
Just right.
Just run?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
No, it's gonna run on iOS.
No,
What is the iOS?
no, it will run.
I'm not sure if I have anything in the configs. I think it's just empty, so it should be fine.
It should be fine. But it needs to download something if you haven't
Oh.
ever.
I haven't, yeah,
No,
so
you got it.
It's launching. It's launching.
there you go. So just further examples of how cool and easy Flutter is, you know?
Errors in your media queries.
It's very possible.
For sure.
Have you
I
tried
can fix it
to?
for him. You can do it right on.
No, but if
No,
you
I haven't
use
tried,
it,
landscape mode.
I think it handles automatically.
Or is it in manual calculations for the rendering?
Okay,
Now
not-
let's focus.
That's okay.
not too bad. And now, let's focus.
This display mobile.
We're missing some of the labels are messed up here.
Maybe you have a custom dark mode on your Chrome.
Oh, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Ooh,
that
that's a feature, right?
that might be the issue.
Invisible task.
Can you disable?
I'm a mobile developer, guys. Yeah.
But why?
Anything? What? What were you saying?
Maybe do you have a dark mode, a custom dark mode?
I don't think so. I just default dark
No,
mode.
it's Chrome.
Yeah, you just have to set up in the if you go to your material app, just
Yep.
at the
You could
beginning of
do
your
just
app,
rendering mobile.
just go to your material. Just go to the beginning of your app.
Go to the beginning of my app.
I
Yep.
think you say go to the material app, and then change the what is it? There's a theme at the top.
Yeah, I have a theme right here.
Right. Just say brightness, light.
There you go.
Yeah.
So smart.
And then just refresh. It should work
Boom.
at the bottom.
I have to relaunch or I can just refresh?
No, just,
Ah, right, reloaded.
hot reload or hot something.
Ah, but he just launched that.
You change the aesthetic.
No, but you,
Nice.
He launched. He didn't.
It's too bright now.
you didn't what?
Debug. If you debug.
Oh, yeah, you'll have to.
I have to debug. Okay, I'll relaunch. That's fine. We'll relaunch it.
Platform was supposed to be stopped. Okay.
Didn't work.
Always a debug mode, always.
We have started.
Let's redo it. Let's redo it.
Yeah.
Let's redo it over here.
I was gonna say,
If you play, you see the hot video?
That's the debug. Play debug. Play usually debug.
Still, it's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There's not many Android or iOS applications you can do that in except Flutter.
Yeah.
You take the exact same code base and run it in the web.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And moment of truth.
Moment of truth. Perfect.
Did not work. Oh,
Anyway.
You could cheat tweet if you.
We're good, I think. I think we're gonna move on. You can join our Discord, by the way, if you want to. This is the Flutter Montreal Discord. It's where we're like very active. You can just scan that QR code. I think it still works. I'm going to try to be more active on there in the coming months and such. And that's it. That's my whole thing. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know if there was really a point to me doing all this, but I think the main point is just to show you guys that anyone could come up here and talk. So just if anybody who we've seen before is like hesitant to come up and give a talk, please come up and do it. Number two, also we can get to know each other a little better and have a better sense of community. And number three, I could like post this app. I could post like the GitHub, and if anyone wants to play around with it, I'm sure you guys probably can think of a million ways to improve it right on the spot. So yeah, that could be a thing, and that's it. Pass it off to you guys. Thank you.